Welcome, one and all. So, we have a great show coming up with you today. One of the most powerful voices in Tejano music. I'm hoping that you guys have as much fun as I'm waiting to have, expecting to have today. The return of the one, the only Miss Geneva. Let's roll that intro.
All teams ready?
We're ready to dance, aren't we?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I love your intros. I'm always mesmerized with your creativity. I love it.
Thank you so very much. Well, I try to do what I do. I'm not sure that I'm
Yeah.
any good or
I'm
anything.
always I'm always looking forward to what you create next.
Well, I've been doing it for so long. I practice at it. And it's funny because I do get people all the time going, "Hey, what program do you use?" And I go, "Well, that's the problem. I don't use a program. I use several programs, and because there's not one program that does everything well, but there's a lot of programs that do one thing well. And so
hmm
if you know how to use all of them, then that's what makes it better. But yeah, I don't I use several different programs to do what I do. And it's a little disconcerting for some people because they want just like, you know, what template did you use? I didn't. So
It's not a template.
it's not. It's
It's my
all rolling
creative mind.
it's all rolling up in here. It's all up here. And so
Yeah.
and you know
That's
what?
what they say about my music videos and who came up with it. I'm like, I don't know. God just shows me and I put it
That,
together and it comes out amazing every time.
that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Luis Ford Muscle Luis 97 says, "Hi, beautiful Geneva. What's up? I do too, especially that intro. Thank you so very much, brother." So, yeah,
Thank you so much for getting connected with us.
yeah, there you go. Thank you so very much. So how you been, by the way? Uh,
Well, I've been well. The last year has been, I've had so many blessings. Um, it's been kind of hard because my children are 26 and 23, and last year, God blessed us with the opportunity to have an addition to our family. And so I've been a new mom again for the last year, and imagine changing diapers all over again, and
oh,
and having to wake up to make bottles, and so it's been a blessing, and I say that God's timing is perfect, and God knows what He's doing, and we have a beautiful baby that just turned 2 years old today, actually, Kilani, and so we're blessed to have her in our lives, and I'm just excited to see her growing, and to grow and thrive, and just trying to take control of this new role in my life, with my music, my career, being a new mom, being a wife, and also, I have a part-time job. So, I'm just like what do they call it? Like
Wonder Woman.
I guess you can say that, but yeah. So, it's been a roller coaster this last year, but God had, when you have God by the hand, there's nothing that you can do. And I'm blessed to have my husband that's very supportive, my daughters, my mother-in-law, my dad, that have all helped me through this new venture in our lives, and we just feel blessed to have her in our lives, and trying to get some studio time in. And so we're working on the new EP, and just so many great things. We have we have songs that are still charting. We have a new single that we released, Ya no somos ni seremos. It's a modernized version cumbia of Christian Nodal's hit song Ya no somos ni seremos. So you need to make sure that you go to all digital platforms, check it out, request it on your favorite Tejano station. And we have a song that we released in February, Indio, that is actually
Wonderful.
still on the Tejano Gold Countdown. So it's been almost a year that it's been out. But that song is just it's just amazing. It's oh my gosh. I'm like
Aunque sea
I
en
had like a
otra.
brain like a brain,
Aunque
what do we
sea
call it, brain fart.
el amor de,
The one that I recorded at the circus. Oh my
el amor
gosh.
de mi vida.
El amor de mi vida. Oh my gosh. I was like, which one is it? And yeah, so it was actually number 10 last week on the charts. And so it's just a blessing, to have the support of the program directors, of the listeners that call and request our song. We they just released the new Spotify streams. It's called the Spotify Wrap. And we look forward to seeing it every year because we exceed our goals. Myra and I, shout out to Miss Myra D, my manager and music distributor. Congratulations to her. She won Music Distributor of the Year at the Guadalupe Awards. So
Congratulations,
she's a
Myra,
very,
babe,
yeah,
babe.
she's a very hard worker. Yeah, and so it's just amazing. It's just been an amazing year, and excited to see what else God has in store for us this
Excellent.
2025.
Definitely. Borrado joined us. Hey, what's up, Indio? Hello, Miss Geneva. Hey, how's it
Hello.
going, B? Thanks a lot for joining us, man. I appreciate you. Rick Phoenix Manso. Hey, Rick, how you doing, brother? Uh, the rock and roller. I call him rock and roller, and he's a great person. And
Yeah, he is. We
yeah,
actually
yeah,
collaborated on a track not too long, well, a
yeah,
few years ago.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
amazingly talented.
he is a great guy, great guy. He says, "Hello, my friends." Now, thank you so very much for joining us. I do appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I still have all of them. I have Aunque sea en otra, El amor que se vida, y I still play them, and aquí en estás, I still play them because they're good songs, and it's as long as they keep getting, people keep requesting them, I'm going to keep playing them, and I don't have
Thank you.
you know I don't have a rhyme and a reason to take them off. You know, good music needs to be heard. That's
Thank
the
you.
deal, and
Thank
that's
you.
what we, I've always pushed that deal, to constantly play new music and keep the music alive that way. I know that there's a lot of older songs that are out there. I do put them in there, but uh, they still they still deserve to get played. And actually, I was talking to Gary Hobbs last week, and I talked about some of his songs that I still play, and he's just like, man, because there were some songs that he really loved that never got released that were on some of his albums, when he was
Yeah,
by himself,
I can
and
relate.
yeah,
I
and
can
so
relate.
yeah, but that's why I say, it doesn't matter. Music is eternal, so good music is good music, and that's all that really matters. So
Hmm.
yeah, B says, I got my new mixing table, so it's $500, so he's ready to spend some new music. Yeah, well, it that song is from Aunque sea en otra. That's a really good song. It's hitting right now. So, you know, uh, uh, you know, congrats to you,
Thank
Norma,
you. We actually
joining us.
won. I don't know if you could see behind me. I don't know if it's on this side or that side.
Yeah,
We won Video of the Year at the Premios Tejano Mundial
uh-huh.
with. Can you see it? You see it
Yeah,
right
there it
there?
is. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
over
we
your
won.
shoulder.
We
Yeah.
won. We won Music Video of the Year with Aunque sea en otra vida. We filmed it at this beautiful establishment here in Wesco, called the House of the Orange Blossom. It's like I don't know. To me, it looks like a plantation. It's just it just looks like like you're in the 1950s. It's very beautiful, and so that video we filmed it I wrote the storyline, I directed it, and Ryan Basan, uh, uh, you know, created the video along with me, and so I mean, it turned out amazing. Everybody played the part, dressed up, in like old vintage clothes, and the story was
Hmm.
about a maid that was seduced by the son of the owner that had returned from the war. And
Yeah.
so, he seduces her. And, so she's thinking, like, I could have a future with this man. And come to find out, he had come back home because he was getting married. And
Yeah.
so, she's on the second floor watching this whole thing happen. And so then she goes and busts out this gown that she had been given to her. And she transforms herself and then goes down and gives him a farewell kiss and leaves the job. And, so it's a beautiful story. I played, we wanted to give tribute to those, who have served, who are serving, and who have, paid the ultimate sacrifice for us, in the military. And it's just we included my I lost my mother 3 years ago.
Hmm.
I wish she would have been. I know she was there in spirit, but I wish she would have physically been there. But I included my children, my husband, my father, all of my mother's living sisters and brothers, and my husband's aunts and uncles. Everybody was a part of the music video. They played a guests of the wedding scene, and so I mean, it just turned out really beautiful. And I'm glad that our hard work paid off, and we took home this award. It was crazy because I had gone to perform at the Premios Tejano Mundial for they were doing like a tribute to Patsy Torres. They were giving her an award,
Hmm.
and so she had asked me to go and I performed Tejudo. But during that time, like I said, we had just recently had the baby, and so I had to be back in the valley by a certain time. And while I was on the road coming home, I found out that we had won, and I was like, man, I wish I would have waited at least 45 more minutes, and I would have been able to get the be able to receive the award myself. Luckily Ryan Basan was there, and Patsy Torres also went up to receive the award on my behalf. And so it was just a beautiful experience to finally have recognition for all our hard work, because we try to put out the best that we can, not only in the music but the video production and everything in general. That's Geneva. We put our whole heart in it. And so I'm glad that the last 2 years, finally, Myra and I have been at this for 14 years professionally. I mean, I've been singing since I was 4 years old, but in the Tejano industry, my debut was basically in 2008. Well, 1996, I released my first song called Te Volteé la Cara, which I wrote when I was in middle school. I think I was like in eighth grade.
Yeah.
I didn't even know anything about love at the time, but I wrote a song called Te Volteé la Cara, and it's available on digital platforms so they could check it out. But I did my debut official on Aquí Rogelio. And but then I stopped singing for a while because I had children and I wanted to dedicate myself to them. But I've been singing since 2008 in the Tejano genre when I won a record deal with East Coast Joey, and then I met Myra a few years later. And so we've been knocking on doors. We had a lot of doors shut on us, and so if you plan on pursuing a career in Tejano music, don't throw in the towel 1 year in, because I mean we've been at it for 14 years and we barely had our first number one song 2 years ago. So don't lose hope. A lot of times people get into this industry thinking right away, they're going to have hits and they're going to take off and be famous. And it doesn't work that way. It takes a
Yeah. It's
lot of
kind of
work.
yeah. It's kind of a trap because some people have
Mhm.
come in and they've had a hit right at the beginning, and then they try
Yeah.
to replicate that, and it's. I mean, to catch lightning in a bottle again is just so difficult because you don't realize how lucky you are to get a good hit right off the top,
Yeah.
and then
Like
try to get
Frontera,
back. Yeah,
like
try to
Grupo Frontera.
to try to get it back again. It's just really hard. You're struggling constantly to get back there,
Mhm.
and it's tough. And but I remember when I called you to congratulate you when you got your number one. I called you early in the
Well, I
morning.
saw you at that. I saw you at a. I had just interviewed with you, right? Right, like
Yeah,
right before I had to leave. We interviewed really quick backstage, and So
Mm-mm.
yeah,
It
it was
was
amazing.
well, I was happy for you. I was just really glad that you did, and I knew your hard work and everything else. Real
Thank you.
quick, Buddy Salcedo is joining us too from DFW. It's Tejano time. What time is it? Is Tejano time? Thank you so very much. Chiqui
Tejano time.
Salazar. Chiqui Salazar says, "Hi guys, hi beautiful Geneva." She's saying hello. Chiquis, thank you very much for
Hello.
joining us. El Gallo Giro says, keep dando 100% y
Thank
todo en
you. Thank
Dios."
you.
Thanks
I
very
wish I
much.
could read the comments, but they're like so little. I'm just like squinting and trying to
That's why
read.
I'm trying to read them for you. Stephanie Martinez says, "Hi, y'all. Love you both. Thank you so very much,
Hi,
sweetheart.
Steph.
Nice to see
Shout
you
out to
too,
Steph.
sweetheart. Yeah, yeah. She's
I
beautiful
tell
girl too.
I talk to her every now and then, and just give her words of wisdom, of personal experience. I tell her, it's not easy, but there's a lot of little things that I had to learn on my own. Like I mentioned to her, I never had a mentor that took me under her wing and showed me the way. Myra and I kind of just learned as we went, and now I feel like it's my job to you know to uh to help those that are wanting to pursue a career in Tejano music, with any advice. I'm a third year mentor for Grammy U for the Recording Academy, and I mean it's amazing for them to invite me and match me up with somebody. Just it's beautiful because obviously they feel they have something to learn from me, and I mean, and I love to be involved in just in sharing what I've learned in the industry, and the do's and the don'ts, and I mean I love it. Like this new girl, Jen Ramirez, that I was paired up with. Her background is marketing.
Hmm.
And I had just prayed. I said, "Man, God, because I'm old school. I'm more like show my face. I mean, I do 50 plus interviews per single. And so I love to go to the radio stations, meet with the program directors. Myra and I will get in the car and we'll drive all of Texas all the way up to Lubbock and back. And and now, with Entre Tus Brazos, that it opened the door for us internationally, and we've gone into Mexico. It's been just something beautiful, to have been to break through and be able to go international has been huge, for Geneva, and for Cielo Entertainment, because we've gained so many contacts and we share it amongst each other. And I know Stephanie recently joined Cielo, and we have a lot of people that have joined our team, and so we help each other out. I've
Yeah,
like I've told Myra, we can't be selfish. That we're in a bowl of bands that are just swimming, and just swimming around each other, and we should help each other, not try to sabotage each other and affect our, because this is a business. Well, for me, not so much, because I don't do it for the money. I do it for the love of music. I know some people, this is all they do. They don't have any other jobs other than perform. And I know that it's affected everybody in general, because a lot of people are struggling right now. Some musicians have had to get a full-time job because
hmm,
a lot of the the gigs aren't wanting to pay what they used to pay, and I mean, it's just unfortunate. But I mean, I look forward to 2025. We're planning a small tour. Like I said, I just want to get out there and perform. I'm also touring with Joe Lopez y Grupo Mas. Shout out to Joe, and to all the band. And so it's fun. I mean, I love it. I love performing. And so now it's also time to, for Geneva to get, on stage with Adicción. And I'm excited, to be in a city near you. So make sure that you talk to your festivals and say we want Geneva there.
yeah.
And so that way I could see you guys there in your city, and I'm excited. I'm super, super
Yeah,
excited.
most definitely. I mean, that's how for people. If you're complaining, while they always bring the same people, they always bring the same people. The reason they're bringing the same people is because they don't know what to bring, and the same person that they're bringing back is the one that made them money last time. So if
Mhm.
you want somebody different, then go up to the manager and say, "Hey, would you bring this person?" Because they're just guessing, they're fishing, and they don't want to bring somebody that you're not going to like, or somebody that, they're not going to, they want to make sure that that person's going to bring in people. That's what it is.
Mhm.
And so they're just going to keep milking that same cow. If you guys keep coming to that same show, they're going to keep doing it. And so that's why the best way to do is just vocalize and say, hey, bring this group, bring that group. And that's what's going to happen. And plus also listen to the new music that's out there. I had a question that was posed to me the other day that were like, well, now you have Eli the retiring, you have Bobby Pulido retiring, so all these new people have to step up and do the best that they can. And wait a minute here. What are you talking about? There's a lot of great people out there already. They just
Yeah.
need a chance.
They
It's
just
not
need support. I last year, I challenged these festivals, these venues to give an opportunity to the new acts to open up, at least have one new act open up for the headliner, but it seems to be a constant, battle of, some of the bands fighting as to who's going to close and who's performing first. Like nobody wants to go on early, but yet they put all the new acts, when there's nobody there. So how
right.
do they expect for these new acts, to make it? What happens is they end up giving up because, they go and they play for crickets, and and they feel, they leave feeling defeated because they feel like, well, nobody came to see me. Well, I mean, the only way that somebody's going to build a name is if they're given the opportunity to show their talent when the crowd is full. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, you have to pay your dues. I mean, I hear, I get it. There's some bands that had to work really hard to get to where they're at, but that doesn't mean everybody has to do that.
Oh,
Like it's not like back in the day where you had all these huge sponsors and major record labels like Sony and Capital EMI and Fonovisa that were picking up these Tejano bands and putting all this money and really promoting, and people blew up from one day to the next, but they
right.
had that support. There isn't that support anymore. So why do you have to block, somebody that's gonna be here for another 20 years, you know,
Right.
from establishing their art, or establishing their name, or establishing their art. It's very few headliners that I've seen that are doing stuff like that. Like, Shelly Lattis, Jesse Turner, that are giving these, the future generation of artists an opportunity to showcase their talents and have an opportunity of being the next thing in our in our
Right.
in our genre. Like, I've been at it a long time, but I still consider myself new because as far as performing out there, I haven't really done it that much. Why? Because the last 2 years I've been working on building my name. Because
Yeah.
how are they going to want to pay if, I mean, they're going to see like, who's Genyva? Well, Genyva is the one that's had several number one hits on radio now, but so like I've been talking about, what we're going to be doing is putting together a live show, filming it, that way we have something to show these festivals of what we can bring to the table. But like, I'm not going to go pay for $500. I'm not going to go play for $1,000. That's not even going to cover half the band. So I mean, some people are like, "Oh, she doesn't even play or, live." Well, it's not that I can't. It's just that I'm not gonna lowball myself when I know what I can bring to the table. I mean, the way what you hear on my album is what you hear live. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, my talent is God given, and nobody can take that from me. And you I sing just as good live as what you hear on the album is what you're going to hear in person. I
Mhm.
mean, there unfortunately, now with technology, there's a lot of artists that they go and they record, they add all these effects and all these auto tune, and then you hear them live, and they're like, "Oh my God, what happened?" So these people go based on that. They invite them to these festivals, to these events, and then they're disappointed because they didn't do their homework, and it sounded horrible live you know
Mm.
but the only way that they're going to get better is if you tell them the truth, if you give them advice, if somebody takes them under their wing. Because I mean, we're
Show
all
them the way.
given, I mean, either you got it or you don't. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
Show them the way.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And
Either
and
you
talk
got it or you don't.
and talk
And
about giving bands the opportunity. I'll tell you a little story. Café Tacuba, which is a very very famous band, they
Mm-hmm.
actually performed at Sturgis. They've performed at Sturgis before, which is a
Uh-huh.
really crazy thing to say. Sturgis is mostly, it's a motorcycle event. A lot of bikers go out there. Usually it's rock and roll, hard rock, and all this stuff. What's Café Tacuba doing there? But they
Mm-hmm.
did perform. And that's one of the things that's listed on their bio. They did perform at Sturgis.
Mm-hmm.
They performed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the only people that were there to listen to them were the roadies and the workers that were putting everything together. Nobody
Really?
was, there were no fans there. And it was the worst gig that they've ever, and they talk about it all the time. It was the worst gig that they ever had because they had already made a name for themselves in the Hispanic community, but here they're playing for Sturgis and thought they were going to break through, but nobody came to them. And it's because they put them so early.
Yeah.
Nobody was there. So it goes hand in hand. So let me catch up with these comments real quick. Stephanie Martinez says, "You're the best, Geneva. I appreciate you so much. Que Dios lo bendiga." Ford says, "Geneva, your music is always beautiful." Uh,
Thank you.
Jonathan Espinosa, hey, how you doing, brother? He's got 2 songs that are really killing it right now on the radio. Blessings from Florida. Tuning in real quick on my break from studio session. Well, thank you very much, Jonathan.
Thank
Rick
you.
Rick Valderrama, the friend I know, my buddy. Hey, he says, "Hola, how are you doing?" He says, "I jam your music, Geneva. So good for
Oh,
you."
thank you. Thank you.
The Hawaiian princess herself, Chrissy E. She says, aloha, mi gente bonita. Hi, how you doing, sweetheart? And she
Mhm.
says, aloha to Indio and to Geneva. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you.
But it's very, very true that we need to give them the opportunity, give people the opportunity to perform. The thing is, it's just that to the we cannot complain about not having new music and then not support artists with that new music.
Mm-hmm.
When you were born, you were a baby. Then you grew, right? That means you changed from where you started out.
Yeah.
So you have to change in order to evolve. Nobody uh you're treating music, some people they like to treat music like the puppy you get for Christmas. Oh,
Mm.
it's cute. Oh, so cute. In a month, that dog is huge, and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to play with it anymore because I wanted the cute puppy, and I wanted him to stay the cute puppy forever. Doesn't work that way. Everything has to change and evolve in order to keep growing. That you have to change to keep growing. Music is the same thing. You know, in the 80s, we had synth pop. Before that, we had rock and roll. Before that, there was disco. It's constantly moving. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what you have to do and listen to the stuff that people are putting out and not be a stopgap for music. Open yourself up and listen to it. A lot of it's really, really good quality stuff. I'm not going to say
Mm-hmm.
all of it, but a lot of it is. There's a lot of great people with talent, and people have been expressing themselves a lot younger now than they were before. But that's not because there's the younger crowd is more talented. No, it's just they have more access
Mm-hmm.
to distribute their information. I mean, Stevie Wonder was what 11 years old when he started singing. And when he first did his first album, that was unheard of in his time. So yeah, there was a lot of kids back then, but nowadays it's easier for you to get your stuff out there.
Yeah,
But
I mean, now
yeah,
with social media, it's so much easier, with TikTok and I mean, it's beautiful to see that a lot of new artists are being discovered through platforms like that. I mean, we didn't have that.
right.
We had MySpace and like it was I mean,
Even before that, we didn't have anything. Hello, Rodney. How are you doing from Phoenix? Thank you very much. And Paul,
thank
how are you
you,
doing,
thank
brother?
you.
What's up? Happy holidays. Thank you so very much for keeping Tejano alive. Of course, brother. Norma says, you are so right, Indio. Thank you so very much. Well, but you're right. They do have access to everything. But once again, I was trying to lead it back to you being a mentor because yes, we do have access to all of this stuff, but if you don't, you have to understand this is the music business.
Mm-hmm.
There is a business side to it. And that is where a lot of us fail.
Mm-hmm.
There is a business side to it. And, you know, you just don't, there's a reason you should never get a gig for $500 because from then on to that promoter, you are worth $500.
Yeah.
You are not going to come back for 1,000. You're not going to come back for two or three. You're going to come back for $500. That is
Mm-hmm.
the danger that you get from
Yeah.
accepting that gig for $500.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you should never take because you never pay to play. Never pay to play. That's one of the things that are really hard about events like the Tejano, the TTMA's fanfare is because you're performing for free. Now, if you do, the good thing is you want to try to get one or two gigs out of it. Then it's an investment. Then it
Mm-hmm.
pays off for you. But you know, for me, the bad part is people that have been doing the awards for 20, 30 years, and then they're not allowed to sell their merchandise in the artist alley because they're not performing that day. That makes no sense whatsoever. They've been doing it for 30 years for you.
Yeah.
You got to give them something. The artist deserves something. And
Yeah.
Fiesta's right afterwards, and they're making a ton of money. Fiesta's is paying their artist to perform. So I don't understand the dynamics there. But with that being said, is it's go and see them. Don't just go to the to be to get it for free. Go to
Mm-hmm.
understand that you're there to listen to new music and say, you know what, I really do like them. And then you
Mm-hmm.
watch shows like this one so that way you can get to understand why is Genyva singing? What did Genyva do in her? And then you'll see the parallels of the life that you live. And then you say, you know what, I'm gonna request this song because you know what, it's a love song, and I know it's a love song. Genyva said so on Indio's show, and you know what, I'm gonna dedicate it to my wife because that's what she
Mm-hmm.
to her husband. And there we have it. We're supporting
Yeah.
each other,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's how it works. But we have to do it together. That's the only way we can do it. We can do it together. That's the way
Mm-hmm.
we do it. And you have and you've said it before. You still consider yourself new, but a lot of artists that are new, they started. They it's not their first day singing. They've been singing for a long time. It's just that they're new for us,
Yeah.
and that's
You're frozen, Indio.
hey, I'm back.
I'm like, you're frozen.
I know, I'm sorry. I
It's
was in the
okay.
middle of I was in the middle of a rant, somebody didn't like me and cut it. Oh, no, just kidding. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
You were like this.
There was a big sign saying "Cállate," no, back behind me. Now, it's like I said, that's how the only way we can do it is do it together. We have to do it because that's the only way we can be successful. The reason
Yeah.
I don't promote norteño music is because first of all, I don't understand it. So I can't give it a justifiable support. I don't know enough to be honest and support it because I don't know it. But the second thing is that they have lots of people supporting Tejano music. I mean, norteño music. They don't need me. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
I'm
mean, you're just staying true to what your passion is, and
and
it's okay.
and I can't support something without knowing something about it. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not going to go, I like this band or that band's bad when I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That doesn't even make sense.
Mhm.
And people they sure do have opinions about stuff that they don't know what they're talking about. You're like,
Yeah, a lot of times in Tejano, I mean, I've evolved. I mean, um, my style is unique, on its own. And like if you listen to my first album, that has a lot of like that old school Tejano sound, a lot of
hmm
keyboards, like Yo no te pido la luna, como te voy a olvidar, but we have to change with the times. I still keep it Tejano, but I give it a little bit of a flavor, and you can't be afraid to do that. I
yeah,
mean, look
yeah,
what
to
it did for
express
me.
yourself.
It got me, it opened up the doors for me internationally with Entre Tus Brazos. We kind of made it sound like a little bit, Tejano Grupero, or Tex-Mex, as they call it. And I mean, and look at what it did for me. And there's some stations, I'm not going to mention any names, but that don't support Geneva. And even though my music is great, they won't play me. And you know what? It's
Yeah.
okay. I'm not gonna beg anybody to support me or to play me. I mean, it's their loss. I mean, they're doing is cheating their listeners from great quality music, and
hmm
so sometimes, of course, it could be discouraging because it's kind of like there's favoritism. You have to be from their area, or it's just well, it's the son of so and so. So even if the song isn't that great, well, it's the son of so and so. So they're playing the heck out of the song, but yet I have all this great material and they're not playing me. But it's okay because I embrace and I love those that do support me. And I'm grateful, and I know that they feel the love for me, especially when we go out and do our radio tours. I'm a very expressive person. I'm a very loving person, and I appreciate and I thank them, in person, and I'm grateful for them spinning my music, and for people like you that acknowledge my art, and always receive me with open arms, and I'm grateful, and I'm glad that I took that next step you know uh to step out of my comfort zone and do songs like Como Te Atreves,
hmm
pop ballad, and Ya No Somos Ni Seremos, which is also a little bit more Tex-Mex, and I got to go where they love me,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm doing, and Mexico has received me very well. I have, and I don't even call them fans, I call them friends. I have a ton of friends that I've made, while I'm in Mexico, and I'm excited to be back there. We're going to be there in the beginning of the year doing another radio tour. Shout out to Arturo Quintero. He's my publicist over there in Mexico. And thanks to Destiny Navaira that connected me with him. So see, it's artists like her, like me, that share our contacts because we want to see each other grow. I'm also, wishing Destiny a speedy recovery. I know that recently she had a surgery, and
Yeah.
so we hope that she gets well soon. We love you, Destiny, and again, I always take a minute to thank you for what you did for me, and I'm blessed to have your support as well. I mean, I remember when Destiny first did her first CD release, and she invited me to go sing out there, and I believe I was there. Um, I'm trying to remember who else was there. I think I'm not sure if Di Marie was there, Devin. I mean, there was several of us females that went out and performed, and so I'm grateful for that. So that's what it's about. It's about helping each other. I mean, I'm always here. You could inbox me if you need any help, especially if you want to become a member of the Recording Academy and be part of, getting the opportunity to submit your project for the Grammys. Some people don't know how to become a member. So if you have any questions, I'm always just an inbox away. And I just tell everyone that the most important thing is to make sure that if you're going to put out music, make sure you get yourself a good producer, somebody that a good mix and master, because remember that the program directors sometimes they're in their car and they hear their music while they're driving home, and you need to make sure that everything is balanced, that the instruments are balanced, and that you got a
Yeah.
good mix and master in there. All that is important. I mean, basically that's what's going to get you either in the door or out the door. So
Yep.
always make sure, like, when you're going to go record your vocals, you have somebody in there to help you with your pronunciation, making sure that the quality of the song and instrumentation is good. I mean, we sit and we do all that. We take the time to do it. And don't be afraid to grab your dreams by the horns and run with it. If I would have given up all the times I wanted to give up, I wouldn't have had number one songs. There was many times I wanted to give up, and seriously,
Yeah.
because it's discouraging sometimes, because you're like, man, um, I think I should just retire too, or and Myra's like, be quiet, go get in the studio and go record again. And what do? We go record and we have another hit,
There you go.
So
And
just
that is important. That's why I mentioned to people, if you are an artist, if you are a band, send your new music. The only two things I require, it has to be recorded to industry standards. People don't realize that it doesn't have to be blaring loud. It's not how loud you are, it's how well you get loud.
uh-huh.
And the second thing is the ISRC code. And that's for you so that way you can get paid. I'm a fully accredited radio station, and you're going to get your royalties if I play your music. And that's
Mhm.
what I require just for you so that way you can get your, if you don't, then ask how, and then I'll help you.
Yeah.
But it's like I say, we have to do this together. That's the only way we can level up. And the hard part is having to tell somebody I can't play your stuff because of the fact that your stuff it's not recorded right, it's not mastered correctly, and that's a tough thing to say. Chrissy E says, yes, I can relate, Geneva. I know exactly how you feel. A lot of radio stations don't play my music either. I play your music, Chrissy, so I'm sorry, but you got a home here, sweetheart. So, and
Yeah.
and Geneva, of course. Myra joined us. She says, "My queen." There you go.
Hola.
Hey, Myra. How
Shout
come you
out to
didn't?
Miss Myra D. We had a birthday party yesterday, and her chicken salad sandwiches were a hit, man.
Oh, wow, cool. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. She took us like 3 or 4 trays of chicken salad sandwiches, and everybody was like, "Who made the chicken salad? Who made the chicken salad?" So grateful for her helping us out. Everybody that my friend Lori Carr, her daughter, my husband, my dad that cooked. I mean, it was so beautiful. I'm gonna be doing a post right now when as soon as we get off our interview. I haven't had a chance. I was just so tired today.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't done a birthday party in 23 years. So it was like, man, I told last night, like in the middle of the night, I got up to go use the restroom, and man, my ankles hurt and my feet hurt and my hips and my knees. And I was like, man, I'm getting old and like everything hurts. I was like, whoa. But it
Yep.
was amazing. It was amazing. It was our baby's first birthday party. So uh, we invited Hello Kitty, and it was just so so cute. All the kids that were there. So it was a lot of fun. I'm super super excited to
Yeah.
to uh, to write
That's
a
one of
post
the
about it.
things. That's one of the things I didn't understand about Hispanic people the way I understood them. They would have like a birthday party for a 1 year old, but they'd have a keg. It's like, why the cake? The kids won, but they would get, and yeah, to me it was funny, but it's like, mm.
Well, then you're not gonna want to see my pictures because it looked like my baby had a whole quinceañera. She had a whole quinceañera yesterday. We
No, I
had
mean
like inflatables, and we had cupcakes and chocolate covered strawberries, and
no,
we,
it's like funerals. Funerals are for the people. They're not for the person that has passed. It's for the people. It's for
I
them to
remember
celebrate.
when we were little, they used to give us a nutty buddy and a little penguin cake, and di que como I don't know how they say, como dicen, di que ya chingaste if you got if you got a penguin, a chocolate that cupcake that had the little white swirl on the top with the candle. Poof, there, happy birthday.
That's all you get. Yeah. Yeah, my brother, he'd give me a "you ain't shit" balloon. That's what he would give me for my
A
birthday.
what?
"You ain't shit" balloon.
What is that?
A balloon that says "you ain't shit." You ain't nobody.
Oh, you ain't. I was like, what is that? Yeah. So yeah. So
I
anyway,
graduated
back
I
to
graduated college with a degree. Here's your balloon.
here's your balloon. Yeah. So
So
back
I
to
don't care.
back to our topic. So yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry. Yeah.
um,
Yes. Oh, the
So
music. Okay,
another, like I
yes.
was mentioning, about not being afraid to step out of the box. I was blessed this past year to be invited to participate on a contemporary blues album with Antonio Vergara. It's called The Fury, so I invite you guys to check it out. I know that for all my friends and all the Grammy voting members, the ballot's going to be opening up in a few days. I'm not sure if it's the 13th or the 14th when the ballot opens, but um, we are officially nominated for an American Grammy. I was a featured artist on the album, so I'm going to get my beautiful certificate that says, I'm now a Grammy nominee. So we're asking for everybody's support, for them to consider our project. Make sure you check it out, listen to it. It's going to be on the ballot. There'll be links there for you to check out, the album. And so it's going to be in the contemporary blues category, and it's called The Fury with Antonio Vergara. And so we ask for your support. And so we'll find out February 2nd if we are Grammy winners. So I'm super super excited and grateful to Antonio for having invited me to be on this project. So like I said, don't be afraid to step outside the box. You never know what blessings are in store for you. And I'm super excited that now I can say I'm a Grammy nominee, and I look forward to hopefully next year being up for consideration. I mean, well, I'll be up for consideration with my project, but to end up with a Grammy nomination for the Latin Grammys next year. And it's a little harder on the American Grammys because we lost our category. The Tejano the
Mhm.
Tejano genre lost their category. Now they mix it in with the regional Mexican. But the in other words, the more Tejano
The-
artists that submit projects, the better chance we have of getting our category back in the
yeah,
American Grammys.
yeah, that's that.
So
We lost it because of the fact that we didn't have participation. That's why we
exactly.
lost. We need more people to participate in order to get it back. And from what I'm reading, sweetheart, I think it's the 14th.
The 14th? Okay, the
Yeah,
14th.
I believe so. That's a Saturday. So I'm thinking that's what it is. I don't have a I can't I'm not finding it right away, but I
Hmm.
believe it is the 14th. Kelly Delgado, by the way, she's with Sirius Tejano in the house. Hey, how you doing, Kelly? She says, "I love your music, Geneva. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank
Saludos,
you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
la
Yeah,
comadre."
so
Thank you
yeah,
so
so I
much.
wanted to make sure that I shared that with you guys. It's a huge, huge blessing. Last year Myra and I set goals, for what we wanted to achieve in 2024. So far we've exceeded those goals, especially with our streams on Spotify and our singles. This 2024 we only got to release two singles because our songs were doing so good. And
Yeah,
on another note, let your song work for you. There's people that want to be releasing a song every month. Well, how do you expect to chart? You got to work your singles.
right.
Release a song, put out a good music video with it, follow it up with interviews at your Tejano stations. Go show face, meet your program directors. um, if you don't have a music distributor, Cielo Entertainment is always looking for new talent. And I mean, I think that it's just, like I said, taking that leap of faith, believing in yourself more than anything. Like, since I gave my career to the Lord, He's opened so many doors for me. And I mean, I'm just blessed to have the support of those who support Geneva, and to have, an amazing husband that, travels with me and is basically my investor, because to record it's expensive.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not
It's not easy.
$500 like it used to
No,
be,
no,
and
no.
what does it say? I would love to see the
I would
projects.
love to see the projects in terms of the category. He's talking about the Grammys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
uh
It's
and
it's on the
so
website.
another yeah, somebody else that I want to congratulate also is Lucky Diaz. I know we have he has a children's album. They're also up for consideration for a Grammy. So that's another one that you could also listen to in the children's category. We have a lot of a lot of musicians from the Tejano genre that participated in that album. So we have to support La Onda Tejana, and uh, that's just you know that's just something that we got to do. We got to support each other, continue to support each other, so that way we all have an opportunity to leave our mark and have this is our legacy.
Hmm.
Basically, this is what we're going to leave behind. We're finally all the film festivals are finally over for the project that we submitted for the Tejanas Unidas en Cristo docu series.
Hmm.
So I've already pitched it to a couple of streaming platforms. I'm just waiting to hear back. Actually, that's something I wanted to talk to you about, Indio, too, about maybe putting together, at least so we can share with the girls, maybe setting up um, like a link where we can choose a day during the week where we can all sit together and stream it just with a private link, because some of the girls haven't seen the docu-series.
Oh yeah, most
Maybe
definitely.
it's something that we can set up, maybe do like a private streaming, because before I couldn't share it with anybody, because since I had submitted it for some film festivals, I had to wait, because if you stream it anywhere, you'll lose the opportunity to win. And
Hmm.
so I know some of the girls have been dying to see it, and so now that um, that we're waiting to hear back from some of these streaming families, if we don't hear back from them soon, we can. I mean, we could still do something private. I know that you're really smart at all that stuff, and maybe we can all sit together and pick a day and just watch it together, um, and that way we can get prepared for the public, for it to go public and for the public to be able to maybe to download it, because any money that's made from this docu series is going to be for the future generation of La Onda Tejana. We're going to
Right.
whatever money we put together, we're going to choose two. Well, one is set up a fund for to be able to sponsor one or two artists a year with the opportunity to record them, record a music video, and basically launch them, and moving forward, they'd have to handle everything else. But I mean, this is something that, we want to basically do like a grant for new talent. So they'd have to submit like an application, and then, amongst all the girls that were featured on Tejanas Unidas en Cristo, we would choose the winner, and then get them into the studio. Now that Shelly has her studio, maybe we could go through Social Records, or they're closer to the valley, we could record at the studio where I record here in the valley. I don't know, we'll see what's going to happen with that, but I'm super excited to have everyone finally see what we worked so hard on. And it's an amazing documentary that features the hardships and the heartbreaks, and all these Tejano icons like Patsy Torres, Shelly Lares, Rebecca Valadez. I mean, it's just 25 women, amazing, talented women, and also the future generation of Onda Tejana. We debuted several artists like Annika. I mean, look at everything she's been doing. Annika Garza, Alyssa Torres, Sarah Monique. I know Sarah Monique is returning to the stage, so I'm excited to see her back. And just all these beautiful women that are, thriving, and that form part of the Tejanas Unidas en Cristo. So, I mean, I'm super excited to see what God has in store for all of us.
Yeah, most definitely. Frank Salazar says, thank you for all your insight. Very helpful. Well, thank you for joining us, Frank. I really do appreciate that. But,
Thank
that's
you.
what we want to do, share some information so that we could help each other out. And
Exactly.
that's what we do, is try to help, to go forward and not to go backwards. And,
Hmm.
but yeah, that's most definitely whatever I can do to help, that I am
Thank
here.
you.
I'm
Thank you.
always
Yeah,
willing
let's set up a time to talk about
to.
that. Like, you were honestly the first person that I thought of when I thought about doing that for the girls.
Well, that thank you so very much.
Yeah.
That's you honor me with that thought. Thank you so very much. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
just some guy from Vancourt, Texas. I'm nobody special. I'm just some
No, you are special.
regular old Joe, just a regular old. I'm not even a Joe. I'm a Lawrence. So there you go. But no, let's take a listen to Aunque Seo in otra, and that way we can just take a listen to some music real quick and give
Mhm.
everybody an opportunity to hear
Yeah.
to hear some music from Geneva.
Yeah.
That is the one and only Geneva.
Yeah, and then we can close with El amor de mi vida.
El
Do you
amor
have
de
that
mi vida.
video?
Sí, yes, of course.
All right.
Me arrepiento por haber sido una aventura pasajera de tu tonto experimento. No fue mi culpa haberle dado el corazón a quien no tiene sentimiento. Y me perdí creyendo en ti. No me arrepiento. La soledad también es buena compañía y nunca le he tenido miedo. Y si algún día te das cuenta de tu error, esa es decisión del tiempo. Hoy decidí dejarte ir y no me arrepiento de dar y quedarme sin nada. Si bien me lograste engañar, no me cortas las alas. Y no me arrepiento de dar lo mejor que tenía. Te juro que voy a olvidarte, aunque sea en otra vida. Genyva y adicción. Me arrepiento. No será fácil levantarme, pero no seré la víctima del cuento. Y si algún día te das cuenta de tu error, esa es decisión del tiempo. Hoy decidí dejarte ir y no me arrepiento de dar y quedarme sin nada. Si bien me lograste engañar, no me cortas las alas. Y no me arrepiento de dar lo mejor que tenía. Te juro que voy a olvidarte. Te juro que voy a olvidarte. Te juro que voy a olvidarte, aunque sea en otra vida. Le he tenido miedo.
Oh, I'm not here. There I am. I was like, where did I go? Cool, cool. Oh my gosh, that was such a great song. And I was just talking to my wife and I was like, hey, oh my gosh, did you see that? Yeah, most definitely.
Thank
Stephanie
you.
says, you're very special. I'm not special. Frank Salazar says, yes, it's a great voice. Yes.
Thank you. Thank
An
you.
awesome voice. That's why I always bill you as like a powerful voice. But see, when Gracie introduced me to music, Spanish music, um, it was like mariachi music, and I was like the kind of music you play at a restaurant. That's not really my thing. And then we went from there, and she introduced me to Juan Gabriel,
Uh-huh.
and that guy has so much vocal talent, and what he was able to do in his song to hit a note, a very powerful note, and then go to a whisper, and then jump from a whisper to another powerful note. Very few people can do that. Very few people have the
Mhm.
ability to do that. But I hear that with you. You do that little respite, that that real quiet silence. I always say that. I love silence in a song that makes an impact. You know, purposely there to make it an impact, so that you're just waiting. You have to hold your breath until that note comes in. And, because sometimes music can be overwhelming, because people want to just
Mhm.
hit you, bombard you with all this music, and you're like, whoa, I can't breathe, but it power ballads have a place in music as well. And that, I think that's what I really enjoy about your music. You have a lot of that in your catalog, which is great, which is
Thank
wonderful.
you.
By the way, if those of y'all want to buy her catalog, buy a song or a catalog, you know what? I have right here
Ooh.
Geneva's link tree. You go ahead and click on that one, and it'll take you to where her link tree is. So that way you have all of her various links and all the information and everything else that's there. So go ahead and take a look and see where you can find more information about her. She's got music video links. She's got all kinds of stuff there. So yeah, definitely go check her out. And
Thank you.
I will tell you this: Spotify changed the way they pay out their royalties. It's to me it's robbery. You have to have 1,000 plays within the month before you can collect your royalties. And if you get 999, they don't carry over, so you don't get anything. And then so it doesn't make any sense. And they don't pay hardly anything. If you're going to listen uh, uh, to music that way, listen to Tidal. They pay more, but it's better that you buy it from the artist, because the artist gets the money right away. You know, buy it buy their merch, go to their shows, buy the music from them. Everybody has an ability to sell their own music. You don't have to buy it from everything else, and that way you can help them directly, and they get more of that pie, as opposed to Spotify pays 0.009 cents per That's unfortunate, but it's very, very true.
Mhm.
I am also, thank you, B. Borrados is reminding me. Yes, I am on Roku. We're on Roku Live right now. And I also have my own merch, which I don't have with me, which is, it is true that I have my merch. And I'm a terrible salesman because I've given away a lot of merch. Me.
That's me too.
Yeah, I took some shirts to Vegas, and they were like, "Hey, aren't you Indio?" And I was like, "You know what? You get a shirt." Yes, I am. And so it's just kind of crazy. But yeah, so we've come to that part of the show where, sweetheart, you get to say your thank you, shout outs, remind people where they can go and see you and everything else. I'm going to leave that link tree up real quick, and it's
Thank you.
all you. I'm going to step out.
All right. Well, thanks again for those of you that have supported my career. Again, I want to thank Myra D for not ever letting me give up. I want to thank my husband, my father, my husband Danny, my father Jose Luis, my daughters Nicole, Natalie, Kehlani, and all my family. My mother-in-law Maria Monjaras, and all the program directors that continue to spin my music. Thank you so much for letting me live my dreams. And to all the listeners, thank you for requesting my music. My music is available on all digital platforms under Genyva, Genyva. Un saludo para todos mis amigos de México, de Monterrey, San Luis, Saltillo, el DF, todo, o sea, toda mi gente de México, los quiero mucho, los extraño. Muy pronto vamos a estar de nuevo allí en Monterrey haciendo una gira de medios. Vamos a estar con el favor de Dios en enero. Muchas gracias por apoyar mi carrera, mi música, los extraño mucho. Y pues gracias a todos los programadores de radio que apoyan a Genyva. Quiero agradecer a todos los que se conectaron con nosotros esta noche. I want to thank everybody that connected with us tonight. And just took out of your evening to connect with myself and DJ Indio. And again, the docu-series for Tejanos Unidas en Cristo, Aquí Estás, will be available very soon, so that you can stream in your home and be able to get to know us on a deeper level. So shout out to all the ladies that participated. And again, we're up for consideration for a Grammy for the project The Fury with Antonio Vergara. So make sure you look out for that ballot on the 14th. Make sure you check. It should be in your email. And again, thank you so much for getting connected. My Facebook, you can find me under Genyva, Genyva, or Genyva Salas Monjaras. On TikTok, I'm under Genyva Salas. On YouTube, you can go to Genyva, I believe it's called Genyva Christian TV. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And for any new talent out there that needs any advice or wants to form a part of the Grammys or the Latin Grammys, just shoot me an inbox and I'm here to help with whatever I can. God bless you.
Yay! There you go. See, it wasn't hard.
Nope.
All right, guys. Well, I say it once. I'll say it 1,000 times. Go out and support your favorite artists. Go to their shows, buy their merch. That's how you do it. And you can talk to every artist that I have seen perform. I buy the merch myself. Some of them try to give it to me, but I always try to pay for it. I always pay for it, really. Uh, every now and then they sneak something in my bag, and Jenny B, you were one of them. But I do try to buy everything myself because of the fact that I stick to what I say. Buy the merch, and I am going to have my 12 days of Christmas on after Christmas, so where I'm going to give out stuff that I bought all year, and I'm going to give it out for 12 days
Awesome.
Christmas for everybody. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We've surpassed, as of last week, we surpassed 1 million listeners for the year, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all that listen to me on this station. So thank you, y'all. Be tuning in. Once Christmas comes around, I'm going to start giving away stuff. So that's for that.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Everybody have happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah. Fabian
God
says,
bless you.
oh, de parte de los Arcos, Hermanos Peña. Hey, Fabian, how are you doing, brother? Thank you very much for joining us. Hey, and it was a great show that you put on over at the Toys for Tejanitos. It was an awesome show. So, with that being said, Genyva, thank you so very much,
Thank
sweetheart. This is
you.
your house. Whenever you want to
Thank
come
you.
back, you're welcome to come back at any time. If you need anything from me, you have my number. You can
I
definitely.
sure do. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. And we're going to leave you.
Vámonos lejos de aquí. Ay, papi, dime que sí, que yo ya estoy lista para amarte sin olvidarme de mí. Darte todas las noches mis besos y decirte si no lo sabías que quiero hacerte el amor, pero el amor de mi vida.
And that is coming up. We'll leave you with that one, guys. Thank you so very much. And if today was a bad day for you, if you didn't have a good day today, just remember every day planes take off against the wind. You matter. You are loved. Be human to each other, and God bless. Here's Amor de la Vida from Geneva, the one and only. Hasta luego.
Vámonos lejos de aquí. Ay, papi, dime que sí, que ya yo estoy lista para amarte sin olvidarme de mí. Darte todas las noches mis besos y decirte si no lo sabías que quiero hacerte el amor, pero el amor de mi vida. Llevaba mucho tiempo atrapada en una nube gris y de pronto llegas con más luces que a París. Eres el sol de mis días que me abrigan esas noches frías. Tú sabes que yo no sé mentir. Tengo ganas de hacerte el amor, pero el amor de mi vida. Vámonos lejos decirte